Hello, thank you for joining me for lesson 192 of our daily Sefer HaMitzvos study. Today we have only two mitzvahs, and we started talking about offerings that were regarding purification, and so we are going to address two of those today. They're positive mitzvah 74 and positive mitzvah 77. And so those two mitzvahs are, first of all, the offering of the zav. A zav, we talked about a zava. A zav is very similar. A zav is a man who suffers an abnormal discharge, and it's not when it's expected, and in any case, he has this recurring issue, and once the disorder has been cured, then he must bring an offering, and it's two pigeons or two turtle doves. And one is brought as an ola offering, as a burnt offering, and one is brought as a chatas offering, a sin offering. And until he brings this offering, his purification process is not complete, even though he may not be having the issue anymore. He may not partake of sacrificial flesh until he has done so. So this is Leviticus 15, 13 to 14 is where you'll find that. And it's understood that condition was more prevalent in the Second Temple era, or in the era of the tabernacle and of the temple, and this is because of that extra holiness that things were ratcheted up as far as the uh, punishments that people would get for certain sins, things that would push them toward repentance, and that is also addressed in this second offering. This is the offering of the Mitzorah. The Mitzorah is often translated as a leper. The Mitzorah has a disease called Tzaraat. Saras is a malady that is unique and not the same as leprosy, though it's usually translated as such. But if you look, the symptoms are not the same, and we're told that the reason why someone gets saras is that they've one of the main reasons is that they've spoke lashon hara, which is evil speech or rumors, slander. There's different types of this. It could also be that you listened to it, and so the Metzora um, becomes impure through getting this disease, and Sarat can also end up on your house, etc., on your clothing. But in this case, this is the Metzora who has had Saras on their flesh, and they've been cured. And so at that point, they would bring an offering. They would bring uh, three animals. One is a burnt offering, one is a sin offering, one is a guilt offering, a log of oil, so a amount of oil. And then, if their financial means didn't allow them to bring a lamb for each of those, then they would bring a guilt offering of a lamb, and two pigeons or two turtle doves. And one of the pigeons or the turtle doves would be a burnt offering, and one a sin offering. And it's the same as the previous case. Until he brings this offering, his purification is not complete, and he may not partake of sacrificial flesh. Remember, in there's a lot of stories about Metzoras in the Gospels in the New Testament, and lest anybody slander our master and say that he spoke against the Torah, he told those lepers to go to the priests and do what they needed to do to present themselves to the priests in order to be purified. And so that is what we're talking about here, found in Leviticus 14:10, which says, "On the eighth day he shall take two unblemished male lambs and one female ewe." Now, notice that this in this case that he had the option of, if he wasn't um, wealthy enough to afford three lambs, that he could bring one lamb as the asham, as the guilt offering, and then two pigeons or two turtle doves. One is the burnt offering, and one is the sin offering. So this is also a type of adjustable offering where it fits what the person can afford. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day in every way. Bye bye.